bapa atau ibu mempunyai persoalan atau ingin tanya atau segala macam, bisa menggunakan bahasa Indonesia, and I will try my level best to answer it to the best effort I can. Alright. Acara kita akan dimulakan sekarang, and we will basically be doing this until probably lunchtime, right? So to make this workshop more effective, I humbly request everyone to participate. Nanti sebentar lagi kita akan mempunyai semacam questionnaire ataupun semacam discussion board dan aktivitas sebagainya, dan saya mohon teman-teman semua bisa ikuti, dan janganlah bikin acara ini sebagai bosan satu arah. Saya lebih enaknya kalau teman-teman semua bisa kolaborasi, we can integrate, we can talk, and we can discuss about things. Dan saya juga dipahamkan bahawa kebanyakan di antara teman-teman yang ikutin acara pagi ini adalah dari perusahaan asuransi. Kebanyakan dari saya dapat info daripada Mbak Hani. And most of you guys are from insurance agency. So a lot of my slides are going to look into how the disruptive technologies that is basically been used across the world, and how does it basically relate to the insurance agency. So sebagai use case-nya, saya telah menggunakan beberapa projek yang baru-baru ini setelah saya jalankan, seperti penggunaan artificial intelligence dalam asuransi, penggunaan blockchain dan sebagainya. Jadi di dalam pembelajaran kita hari ini, banyak insurance-based use case studies yang telah saya inputkan, dan diharapkan nanti pada akhirnya all of you guys can benefit from whatever that I'm going to explain today. Right? So let's move on. Thank you so much, and let's see this. Now, a little bit of me. I survived in the IT industry for almost 26 years. Yes, almost a half an old man. But my prime job is more relating to information security in general. Partially, I also handle my risk management portfolio. I also handle the governance. I also handle the regulatory requirements. And recently, I'm also in charge of the Privacy Act done by most organizations. So yes, I have quite a robust portfolio, especially with information security. I've been doing this for the last 26 years. My clients are usually public utility companies, civilian aerospace, and very recently, I have been also doing a lot of job for Department of Defense, U.S. military, Air Force, and the Navy. So these are some of my clientele at the moment. Well, that's enough about me. I don't want to talk so much about myself. So let's dive into the topic, and let us learn more about what we're going to be talking about today. So, sebelum saya memulakan acara pagi ini ataupun masuk ke materi, let us think about an interesting things to ponder. This is actually from a notable figure, all right? Coming in from the horse's mouth, Mr. Jeff Bezos himself, and he says this: not everything is about process and technology. The biggest challenge in governance, risk, and compliance challenge is people. In anything that we do when it comes to GRC, the biggest risk or the biggest challenge or the biggest stakeholder or the driver is the people themselves, and that we cannot run away. So in order to successfully implement your business transformation from the current state to a future technological state, it all boils down to people. Because although people might say, wow, teknologi hari ini bisa menggantikan faktor manusia dan segala sesuatu ni, everything can be automated. Dan menurut saya, itu tanggapan yang salah. Justru kalimat yang betulnya adalah teknologi pada hari ini membantu menggampangkan proses, bukan untuk mereplacekan orang. Nah, itu satu faktor yang menurut saya harus dibenarin. And the second point I want to talk to you guys about is this. This is from James McQueevy. James McQueevy is a known author for business transformation. And James McQueevy has authored a lot of books or white papers when it comes to business transformation, or at least disruptive transformation. So he says this. He says, your competitor probably won't come from within your industry, right? Now, I know that most of you guys are from the insurance industry. I know some of you guys are pretty big. Some of you guys are small insurance companies. Some of you guys are just basically startups. Some of you guys are just in the industry probably less than a year. But it is irrespective of who you are, irrespective of what exactly is the niche business that you are basically holding, irrespective of how big of a clientele you are, the era of disruption, the era of transformation basically does make or break you. Now, I have a lot of case study I want to share with you later, but right now, all I'm going to say is this little point is something you got to remember. Your competitors won't come from within your industry. It's true. Take, for example, as the biggest non-insurance example, okay? Netflix is an organization that has the biggest stakeholding in online movie streaming, but they do not even have one movie theater under their name. Another example, Airbnb, the biggest online, homestay or maybe, vacation stay service provider, but they don't even have one single hotel or asset under their name. We can take a lot of examples in this nature and we can look at how the industry's players out there are changing the game without even having the right ecosystem as you guys do. But because the fact that most of us here are generally from Generation X, okay, one fact here. A lot of us who are coming from Generation X, we have a predefined mindset on how insurance should look like. To us, average insurance is all about us looking at a printed policy, sitting down, discussing, understanding what exactly the thin fine line means, probably talking to your insurance agents to understand what insurance basically fits us. So basically, for us in Generation X, we are more old school. But let's face it, this is year 2022. A lot of the future customers that's going to drive your business in the near future are the Generation Z. Generation Z doesn't care much about detailed granularity about your insurance policy. All they care about is how fast I can claim, how fast can I get my insurance, and how less can I pay. These are three objectives for them. So in a way, if you do not serve the kind of people who's going to be your future customers, which is Generation Z by now, you are at the risk of losing an important piece of the cake in the near future. Like it or not, the disruptors are Generation Z. And like it or not, also, we need to transform our business model to fit the younger generations who are actually becoming the working adults as we go on. And that is basically what a lot of companies out there are striving to do. And for those successful companies out there who are brand new, they can just emerge victoriously within the industry because they understand the demand, they understand the mindset, and they understand the tempo of those future set customers, right? So that is basically what I mean by this particular statement. Okay, moving on. So it's going to be a long 4-hour talk. Okay, it's going to be a long 4-hour talk. My first few topics that I will be discussing to you guys today morning is a topic about what did we learn as a lesson from the blip. Now, for those of you guys who does not understand the terminology of a blip, is remember the 2 years when we were hit with COVID-19? Oh yeah. Remember how COVID-19 transformed our life those organizations who were ridiculously claiming that, oh, kayaknya work from home adalah sangat mustahil kerana itu bukan suatu cara bagaimana kita bekerja. Buktinya sekarang justru dengan adanya COVID, yang awalnya perusahaan-perusahaan yang bilang, oh saya nggak mau bisa kerja daripada kantor, saya nggak bisa kerja dari rumah, harus kerja di kantor. Sekarang, we know that work from home can be a possibility. Now, effective or not effective, that's not really the question. But the question, to answer the question, can you really work from home? Answer, yes. I have been working from home for the last 2.5 years, and I am not complaining. To me, working from home in 2.5 years for now has actually proved to be quite beneficial. But on the other hand, I also find that from a downside, there are also some areas of concern which needs to be addressed, like, for example, controlling work hours, controlling human behavior, controlling how people are actually able to be productive and whatnot. These are the concerns. But it happens, it works, and like it or not, with the recent blip, in my dictionary, blip basically means the COVID-19 phases. A lot of people after the blip has now realized that it's no longer a physical working environment anymore. A lot of people after the blip now realize that it's now a hybrid work environment, which means a lot of companies now, by the way, I'm from Malaysia. For those of you guys do not know, I'm from Malaysia, and I work around Asia Pacific mostly. But now after the blip, it's still based in Malaysia. My flight level has reduced dramatically. Most meetings are now in Zoom. A lot of things are done using online. And in a way, my hassle, my travel reduction is not really a bad thing. More quality time with the family, I think. But yeah, there is some lessons we can learn from the blip, and we'll talk about this shortly. The more important topic I want to talk to you guys about is the 2022 trending tech disruptions. So what we will be looking into is, what are the technologies that most organizations, especially in insurance agencies or insurance companies around the world, are investing the most money on? What are the technologies where organizations out there are getting the most benefit? What are the low-hanging fruit that they are able to grasp on, or the kind of problems they could solve with the recent tech disruptions around the globe, right? And we'll talk about probably 6 of the most common and the major disruptors of the insurance agency, right? And of course, with every single technology that needs to be implemented, there's always an element of risk factor analysis and also considerations. Just because it's disruptive, it does not mean that disruption is something that you can hop on the bandwagon and ride on it. It's not going to be the case, because despite the fact that it's new, it has been proven, it still does not mean that your organization is ready. And we'll talk about some of the key concerns for organizations, especially when it comes to risk areas and the considerations, or the concerns especially. And of course, as a part of which, we will be having a short discussion on how do we tackle disruption. And towards the end of the day, probably for half an hour, we will have the discussion points. Maybe we can openly discuss about what exactly are the disruptions that you are planning to change, or what are the transformation areas that you want to improve on. And of course, at the end of the day, we'll have our conclusion remarks, and that's the end of the day. So that is the full agenda for today's workshop. And I hope that all of us can really give some valuable inputs, right? And like I said, the best workshop to me is when we have everybody interacting, and I hope I can achieve more interaction from all of you. So, yep, hope all of you guys watch Avengers Endgame. All right. And one thing that we know is when I watched Avengers Endgame, I'm sorry, I'm not going away from the topic, but this is something I relate to. It crossed my mind for a bit. What if whatever Thanos did in that movie, Avengers Endgame, could be something that really happened to us? And true enough, this is weird. I don't know how they figured out this concept, but right after Avengers Endgame, it was COVID, right? Right after this movie came out, 2022, February 2020, it was COVID, right? It was a major transformation. So if you ask me personally, who exactly was the digital transformator for COVID? It's actually, I mean, for businesses, it's actually COVID-19. So let's before we start our day and before we talk about more stuff, let us talk a bit on, let us get some, how should I say this, as a input. Now, I'm going to paste a link onto your Zoom chat. Can you guys see the link that I just pasted on your Zoom? Saya ada mengasih suatu link di dalam Zoom Anda, dan saya mohon teman-teman bisa kolaborasi. Mohon klik link yang saya kasih tadi di dalam Zoom. Saya harap teman-teman bisa lihat dan bisa klik. Dan teman-teman mohon sign in kepada Nearport. Nearport adalah satu aplikasi di mana kita bisa belajar sama-sama dan we can actually go do collaboration. I hope everybody can log in or sign in. It's you don't need to have, okay, thank you so much. I see Muhammad Fajar just came in. Thank you so much, Mr. Fajar. I'm seeing a lot of people coming in. That's good. That's good. I'm seeing participation. Thank you so much. I have close to about 70 people here. So I hope a lot of you guys can join in, and I'll give you guys some time to log in. So I have right now a lot of people coming in, a lot of people coming in. All right, probably give you guys 5 minutes. Now, this particular Nearport system here is for me to be interactive for you. Karena agak susah untuk saya interview setiap seorang di antara Anda, dan jumlah kita agak banyak. So, cara yang paling bagus adalah mengkolaborasi dengan menggunakan aplikasi seperti ini. It's quite good, it's nice, and we can actually use this quite a bit, right? So, awesome. I'll probably give you guys a few more minutes for this to be done. Okay, how many do we have at the moment? I'm sorry, I don't have a counter here, but there's a lot of people joining in. Okay, so it's going to be a survey. The first thing I'm going to ask is in the form of a survey, and I want to get your opinion. Okay, I want to ask your opinion. I want to know what exactly you think about this, and of course, most of you guys who could be tech implementers, some of you guys could be from management. Some of you guys could be from risk department. Some of you guys could be from compliance. Some of you guys could be from finance. I don't know where exactly all of you guys are from, but doesn't matter. I'm going to keep this particular topic as simple and as effective as I can. And I want to get some inputs from all of you guys. All right. So keep it coming. I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20. I think I have about 40. Once I hit 50, I will start. All right. So not to worry. Not to worry. So, yeah. All right, thank you. Sudah masuk, nanti jangan close window ya, karena browser Anda masih dibutuhkan untuk slide-slide seterusnya. Okay, right. So mungkin kita akan kasih batas waktu 2 minit lagi untuk teman-teman yang lain yang belum masuk. Silakan. Dan kalau sudah masuk, kita bisa mulain ya. Okay. Right. Okay, I think that's about it. I think I don't have any more news to this coming in. Dan untuk teman-teman yang sudah masuk, terima kasih. I think we have enough. All right. So, all right, let's go on. So, let's start with the basic question. How many of you guys agree that COVID realistically has disrupted your business? It's a simple yes or no question, right? You can just answer yes or you can answer no. Simple, right? Do you guys see the screen on your computer? Apakah teman-teman melihat screen ini? Nah, yang jawab yes, kayaknya banyak sekali. Right? The guys who answered yes is a lot. Okay. Mohon maaf, kamera saya agak error, tapi saya akan check juga sebentar lagi. Tapi okay, anyway, let's just go on. I see some of you guys say no, all right? But approximately 47.4% guys has no answer. Mungkin nggak tahu, nggak apa-apa kalau nggak tahu, nggak pasti, bisa juga. Tapi yang nyata adalah kebanyakan di antara Anda memang bersetuju bahawa COVID benar-benar telah melakukan disrupsi kepada bisnis Anda. Nah, terserah bisnis Anda dalam asuransi atau bisnis apa juga, yang pasti Anda telah mengalami disruption sewaktu COVID. So, in a nutshell, I think everybody has voted. Ada beberapa teman yang belum voting lagi, dan nggak apa-apa, justru karena menghemati waktu. Alright, so I think we got everybody in place here, right? So approximately 67.5% of you guys agree that COVID-19 has been a disruptor, right? Now let me ask you another question. So this is a straight up question. If your answer was a yes, what are the changes that you have visibly seen in your business ventures? Now, I'm going to give you guys probably about 15 minutes. Doesn't matter, it's just 15 minutes. Teman-teman, mohon, in one word, what do you think is the major disruption that you thought has revolutionized your business? Or probably I should say, what is exactly in your own word has evolutionized your business? Jadi teman-teman bisa pakai bahasa Indonesia, pakai bahasa English, nggak apa-apa, silakan. You can just type dalam in one word or maybe in one sentence. Ya, satu sentence. Tell me what exactly that you feel was the major disruptor. Pak Henry Kusdarmawan says, well, digitalization. Technology adoption. Pak Yuda, thank you so much for your answer, sir. I also see Erwin, that is the best answer so far, Pak Erwin. He says, more claim coming. All right. Information technology doesn't matter. Okay, so I see a lot of people who are answering. 20% of you guys answered. Yang lain nggak jawab. Oh yeah, this is nice. Pak Julius Bayangkara mentioned the way of communicating with business parties. That I agree so much, Pak, because like it or not, in the previous years, kalau nggak ketemu, kalau nggak mengopi sama customer, wah itu bukan namanya meeting. Tapi hari ini semuanya pakai Zoom. Tapi jujur, kalau saya bisa bilang, walaupun kebanyakan negara sudah menganggap ya COVID, ya kita pasrah lah, tinggal terima aja. Tetapi sebagai contoh, saya juga punya banyak business partner di Singapura, kondisinya masih nggak aman lagi. Dan saya pribadi, walaupun sudah divaksin 2 kali dan booster 2 kali, tetap juga takut-takut. Karena variannya masih banyak. Wah, nggak tahu lah berapa kali harus disuntik nih. So I have about 12 minutes. Okay. Shifting products. I think you're talking about shifting products. Okay. Penggunaan teknologi dalam penjualan operation juga telah berubah. Terima kasih untuk jawaban Anda, Mbak Nita. Terus siapa lagi? Pak Victor, nggak ada jawaban, nggak apa-apa. Wah, Pak John jujur banget. Kayak ini he's so happy with working from home. It's okay. I like to work from home too, honestly. Yes, dia Asma Giani says teknologi sangat membantu dari segi efisiensi, walaupun awalnya seperti tidak mungkin. Itu benar sekali. Ya, kan pas dulu-dulu dengan adanya Zoom, wah, jadi bingung bagaimana mau cara gunanya, terutamanya dari user ya. Nah, sekarang kan udah kayak mainan tiap hari. Ya. Mas Hari bilang, business risk and opportunity in credit insurance. Of course, I agree totally with you, sir. WhatsApp rules. Ya, komunikasi dengan WA, wah. Dulu kayaknya yang penting-penting aja pakai WA. Hari ini WA is becoming a business tool already. Like it or not, WhatsApp has now become a part of the business essential tool. Companies becomes more flexible in the way to adjust to new culture, digital culture. Yeah, true, benar. Yang tidak mau adaptasi digital culture ni ujung-ujungnya akan rugi sendiri. Itu pasti, ya. Lucy says this. Yes, everything virtual, double meeting. Aduh, kasihan banget ibu, Lucy. Alright. I mean, you can be honest. Ini kan sebagai warming up saja. So I am just, looking at your participation. I'm trying to look at what exactly is your view, right? Some of you guys, for those of you guys who agree, well, you might look at this as an opportunity. But some of you guys who disagree with this, you may look at this as a nuisance or maybe as a delaying process. But one thing I can tell you for sure, you like it or don't, this will change. The way how we work will eventually change. The way how you and I communicate will change. It, in a positive way, has a lot of upside, but on the negative point, it also, to some extent, has some curve down as well. So it's not perfect, but we are trying to reach or merge the gap between efficiency and the gap, right? So I think 67% of you guys have already answered. Thank you so much for all your answers. Waktu saya tinggal 9 minit lagi dan saya tidak mau tunggu begitu lama. Dan mungkin sekitar 2 minit lagi, dan atau once I have probably about 80% of your participation, I will move on to the next Nearpod session, right? So thank you for everybody. And Jessa says teleworking is good. Okay, I agree with teleworking, right? Cara bernegosiasi yang mempengaruhi produktivitas, yeah. Heart mobilization, oh yes. This, without a doubt, is true. Like, I work in 2 business hours. I work in Asian business hour. I also work in the US business hour. So my life is usually like from morning 9 o'clock until midnight perhaps. Jadi dari sudut pandang produktivitas memang membebankan secara individu, tapi dari sudut pandang produktivitas ke perusahaan, of course, I am more reachable, I am more available, and it's kind of a good thing in a way for companies especially. So thank you so much for all the people that is in the participation. 73% of you guys has participated. Thank you so much. And I will move on to my next query, right? So this is an example of your own thoughts. What is your thought on digital disruption? Do you think that this will be a trend which is only happening in COVID? Or do you think that the current digital disruption that's happening among you is something that is going to be staying forever? Adakah perubahan ini adalah sementara, atau adakah menurut Anda, apa yang Anda pikir sebagai digital disruption sekarang adalah sesuatu yang akan kekal buat selama-lamanya? Opini Anda seperti apa? Jadi Anda bisa type di sini, share your thoughts, and we can all see. Jadi teman-teman juga bisa lihat di sini info-info lain, right? Okay, go ahead, type it in. This is just for us to collaborate, for us to get some viewpoints. You guys are my stakeholders. So I would like to see how Indonesia organizations who are now in the insurance agencies view digital disruptions as a positive note, or do you think it's a temporary note? just for time being, and we will go back to our normal routine. Kau pakai cap jempol. Okay lah. I will put a heart there. I like. Zaman sekarang kan currency-nya pakai like. Yang teman-teman lain bisa mungkin ada sesuatu yang bisa di-type di sini. You can share your thoughts. You can type something over here. Alright, Julius says, have changed our business for good. Oh, I love that. Jadi kalau teman-teman lain membilang Pak Julius katanya sangat benar, bisa juga like kalimatnya Pak Julius. Halfway going to the permanent.